Hello student, welcome to our physics discussion, that is physics in a smart way. So let us start something on the 12th portion. I have covered a case or two of electrostatics. Let us go to a topic which we have not covered, and that comes just after electrostatics, and some people also include that within the electrostatics, and that is nothing but capacitance. Capacitance. Okay, for you who do know the formula, know about a bit, that will be helpful to you. For beginners, if you are beginning to study, then that might be a bit later. But first of all, you have to know its formula and its nuances and all that. Okay, so let us say we start with a question which it's like this. A parallel plate capacitor the capacitance is given as C. And when you say parallel plate capacitor, let us consider this as air capacitor. There was nothing between the plates. A parallel plate air capacitor is connected across a cell of EMF V. EMF is electromagnetic force that will be learning in current electricity. That is same as potential difference here. A cell of EMF V, and after charging, the cell is disconnected. Cell is disconnected from the capacitor. Now, a dielectric, you can say a dielectric, you can say an insulator, a dielectric of dielectric constant, better use the word relative permittivity, that is epsilon r, is introduced in between the plates. It's introduced in between the plates. Sorry. In between the plates. Find the change in its. There are many questions that can be asked. In its capacitance, stored charge, the charge that gets stored on the plates, third case, potential difference across the plates, potential difference. Fourth one can be, usually on these, the questions are asked. Stored energy, stored energy, and fifth one, electric field between the plates. Okay. So there, we go to the question once again. We got a parallel plate capacitor. You know, parallel plate capacitor, that is easy to handle and all those things, and especially the diagram is easy. So teachers like them a must. Teachers like them most. Students also like them. Other capacitors like spherical, cylindrical, they are a bit easy to construct. But a capacitor is a capacitor that behaves just like other capacitors. Okay. Okay, I repeat the question again. A parallel belt air capacitor is connected across a cell of EMF B, and after charging, the cell is disconnected from the capacitor, but the charges stay with the capacitor. Now a dielectric, a medium, you may say dielectric, an insulator, non-conductor or poor conductor, whose dielectric constant is epsilon r is introduced between the plates. Find the change. When the question asks us the change, that is not quantitative, that is qualitative. If you answer it that it will increase or decrease, that is enough. Okay, find the change in it. The question can ask you capacitance, stored charge, the potential difference across the plates, and stored energy, that is the fourth one, and electric field between the plates. Okay, let us get on with the answer or the solution. So perhaps the solution is there. You can do it two types. First one, I am going through the formal solution, or the solution that is usually given on our books or periodical and all that. So we go to the first bit, capacitance. Initially it was air capacitor, so the formula, if the initial capacitance is C, that must be epsilon into, if area of the plate is A and distance between the plates is D, that will be epsilon 0 into A by D. Okay. And finally, the new capacitance after the dielectric is introduced, we can put it like this. The value as C dash will be, now dielectric constant will be coming in epsilon into epsilon R into A by D. So as you can clearly see, the value of the capacitance is going up, especially with the light, that epsilon R is usually greater than 1. The lowest value is 1. Okay, so thereby our conclusion will be the capacitance will be increasing to epsilon R times, or C dash will be epsilon R into C. C is initial capacitance. Okay, that is the first conclusion. We go to the second bit. Second bit asks about the stored charge. After the dielectric comes in, initial charge stored on the plates is Q, and after the dielectric comes in, that is Q dash. So thereby Q, as you know, the capacitance or the capacitor After you disconnect the, after you charge it and disconnect the battery, that becomes isolated. Now you introduce dielectric, and you can introduce dielectric in such a way that it's just touching the plates or not touching the plates, just about the plates. You can assume a small gap there. Okay, even if the gap is bigger, that doesn't matter. Okay, but here we assume that dielectric is completely filling up the plates, and dielectric is a non-conductor, is an insulator, so it won't carry charges. So here, after charging, the battery is removed and the capacitor is isolated. In an electrically isolated system, the charge remains constant. The charge remains constant. Whatever charge that was there, it cannot flow out, neither any outside charge can come in. So thereby Q will be equal to Q dash. That is our second conclusion. If battery would have been still connected and you introduce the dielectric, the case would have been altogether different. That is another issue or another variation to this question. So thereby the charge remains same because the system is isolated. The capacitor is not electrically connected to anybody. Okay. Because the question has been with you for a bit of time, now I need to clear up some space and go for the other answers. The third thing that you get here, you have to answer here, it's about the potential difference between the plates. Is the potential difference between the plates. Okay. So far as the potential difference between the plates is asked, we can use the formula, the potential difference equal to Q by C. Okay, that's a standard formula which relates the charge, capacitance, and potential difference. Now, the new potential difference, V dash, if it is V dash, that will be equal to new charge by new capacitance. But we have already answered the last bit, the charge remains same, but the capacitance C dash increases. So because C dash has become epsilon R times C, epsilon R times C, okay, that was the initial charge. So that becomes, Q by C was initial potential difference. That potential difference by epsilon R, this gives us a conclusion that the potential difference that decreases. Okay. Now we go to the Baba, just a minute. Okay. Now you go to fourth one that asks us about the stored energy. You know, so far as the stored energy in the capacitor is concerned, normally we refer it by the capital letter U that starts with basic formula, that is half Q charge stored into potential difference, or this can be extended to another formula, that is Q square by 2C, or that is equal to half CV square. Okay, in many ways you can express the stored energy. Okay, so here we know the selection of the formula for a particular question should be, if there is more than one formula available, should be on the basis that the formula has got minimum number of variables in it, or maximum number of constants, or maximum number of parameters or physical quantity which do not change. So in that way, you can pick the formula that is half QB or Q square by 2C. Doesn't matter. If we pick the second formula, then we do know that Q square by 2C, you could have selected half QB, no problem. So initial energy will be equal to Q square by 2C, and final energy U dash will be equal to Q dash square by 2C dash. Because the charge doesn't change, so that will be Q square by divided by 2C dash. But C dash, when you compare with C, that becomes epsilon R into C. And this quantity, that is Q square divided by 2 and C, they refer to the initial energy. So that becomes U by epsilon R. We clearly see that energy is decreasing. System seems to have a energy loss. Here it can be a question to you where that energy goes. If initial energy is 10 joule and final energy 6 joule, so where that 4 joule or difference goes to. Okay, you try to think of that. It's a good question. Okay, now about electric field, the fifth one. So far as electric field is concerned, electric field, we can use a very simple formula, that is potential difference between the plates by the distance. The new electric field will be equal to the new potential difference by new distance. But you know, distance between the plates remains same, and potential difference, new potential difference will be old potential difference by epsilon R. So that will be V by epsilon R into D. But V by D was old electric field. So it seems that electric field strength decreases, and that is by how much? It decreases to epsilon R times, or old electric field is epsilon R, or 1 by epsilon R of the new electric field will be old electric field divided by epsilon R. Okay, that's about the question. And you know, the question has several variations. We have taken the question in a way that the capacitor is there. Without disturbing the plates and all that, we simply introduce a dielectric. As a result of dielectric insertion, we know capacitance increases. The same thing you could have done if, without using the dielectric, I decrease the spacing between the plates. If you decrease the spacing between the plates, we know capacitance depends inversely on the distance between the plates. So if you decrease it, capacitance increases. The same effect will be seen. So this question has many variations to it. Like cell is still connected, cell is disconnected, you decrease the space between the plates, increase the space between the plates, you insert a dielectric, or a dielectric is already there between the plates, you take it out. So many variations will be there. Along with that, there can be many other questions which are related to this issue. Okay. So that is the thing. Let me clear up. Let me clear up the things. Okay. In the last case, say we consider an alternative. We consider an alternative. We again try to look at the case in a slightly different angle, but the question is remaining same. We got our capacitor, which was an LD, which was a parallel plate air capacitor. We know a capacitor stores charges, just like a liquid container stores energy. So if I consider a liquid container, sorry, let me draw it more legibly. If I consider a liquid container, okay, liquid container that stores some liquid. We consider the base area of the container as A, the height of the liquid inside the container is H, and because the container contains some liquid, maybe water, you can take any liquid, doesn't matter, the mass of the liquid is M, okay? Again, coming back to our main discussion, we are trying to see an alternative or find an alternative to this case. And the alternative is via physical analogy. Normally, we brand them as physical analogy. Many physical analogies are present, and sometimes they help us in a great way. So if you compare, a capacitor stores charges and a liquid container stores liquid. Both are storers. The capacitance, you know, that is equal to epsilon 0 into A by D or epsilon A by D. That depends upon whether there is medium between the plates or dielectric between the plates or not, and doesn't matter in our case. If you take the capacitance value, it will be compared to what of the liquid container. The capacitance, the way we create the formula, if somebody asks you, it will be compared to what sort of thing of the container. Both are storage. So you can easily draw the parallels. Maybe the comparison can be the mass of the liquid or volume of the liquid. Maybe something else. If you try to find the answer, I won't be telling the answer, only I will be giving the end result. The capacitance can be compared with the base area of the container. The capacitance can be compared with the base area of the container. Base area, that is capital A. Okay, you may not write anything, that is capital A. Base area, if the base area is large, okay, because you can clearly see, I am giving you a hint, the container is not completely filled with liquid. If it is completely filled with liquid, then the case is something else. Similarly, a capacitor is not completely filled with charge. My point is that just like you take a container, you completely fill it with water. Similarly, you take a capacitor, you completely fill with charge, means the capacitor won't accept a bit of charge extra. You have taken the potential difference to such a stage, if you add a slight amount of charge, then it can explode, it can break down and all that. So we do not go to that stage. In that way, the capacitance can be compared with the base area of the container. I am not giving you the idea of why, answer why. You have to find it yourself. If you are not clear, then you can write it in the comment section. I'll be clarifying you in my subsequent videos, in any of my subsequent videos on electricity. Okay. So for the time being, you consider capacitance as the base area of the container. Base area of the container. Okay. And because you are introducing the dielectric, capacitance increases. So now think of the container of such a quality or such a thing that it's a rubberized container. The container is very much flexible, made with plastic or something like that, which acts as a rubber. If you like, you can squeeze the container, base area will be decreasing. If you like, you can pull it on both sides, all sides, and base area will increase and all that. Okay. My point was that because capacitance is increasing, and I have told you that capacitance can be compared to the base area. So somehow we must be having not a rigid container, but a flexible container made of rubber or plastic type material, which is flexible. Okay. So thereby we know to take so now you are left with a question, how or why capacitance can be compared to the base area. Okay, but if you temporarily accept that, then you know the mass of the liquid can be compared with the charge. The height of the liquid can be compared with the potential difference between the plates, and the potential energy, okay, that is gravitational can be compared with electrostatic potential energy or electric potential energy stored in the capacitor. So this can be, they can be easily seen. So now what to do? We go for the case where dielectric is introduced between the plates and capacitance is increasing. In that case, we know capacitance increasing means base area is increasing. So thereby, you have to stretch the container in such a way that the base is increased. Let us say I suddenly stretch it and the container now assumes the shape that is like this. Assume the shape that is like this. You can clearly see when I suddenly pull it out, the base is increased, the water level will drop, the final water level will be less than initial water level. So height of liquid will drop. So thereby height is compared to potential energy. Height is compared to potential, I am sorry. So thereby we can easily conclude that V decreases. Okay, but height will decrease, but mass of the liquid remains same because liquid is not escaping. So thereby the charge remains same. Okay, and about energy, we know the liquid has got a potential energy in the container that is mg into h by 2. Mg into h by 2, that is not h. It is not mgh, it is h by 2. All the liquid molecules, they are not at the top. You have to take the height of center of mass. Okay. So because m is remaining same, m remains same, g remains same, but h decreases. So you know the next conclusion that potential energy decreases. So clearly we see using physical analogy or water tank, a flexible water tank, how we can reduce our calculation, how we can reduce our unnecessary workload. So thinking like this also helps. And how quickly, the main point is how quickly you can arrive at the conclusion correctly. Okay, so try to use physical analogy in other cases also. You'll be finding a lot of fun, you'll find a lot of clarity in those cases. If you want my help, you can easily put in your comment and I am there for you. Okay, that will be all for today. The video has been very long. Okay, if you like, you can give it a like, you can subscribe, you can share it amongst your friends. So thank you for your kind attention. That's all.